be awesome.
Our first speaker, very exciting, a neuro sports performance specialist and owner of 3-in-1 Elite on unlocking your elite, better input for better output. Put your hands together for Abe Al-Baba.
So before I get started, I'm looking for a volunteer, somebody that maybe has some back pain, tight hamstrings, can never touch their toes. Anybody, don't be shy. Yoga, people don't do it. Come on up, big man. There we go. Don't knock anyone over on your way. High knees, let's go.
High knees.
All right, what's your name, boss? Steven. Steven, Abe. Nice to meet you. Okay, so what we're going to do today, you want to step over here, not line anyone. All right, what we're going to do, you're going to do the best toe touch you've ever done in the game. Oh, yeah. All right. Awesome. So, here's a couple rules, okay? You got to bring your feet together and you're going to face me. All right? Feet together, you're going to lock out your knees. Now, before you touch your toes, what I want you to do is rate it 0 to 10 scale. 10 being like super uncomfortable. Get me out of this position immediately. All right? Okay. Ready. And try to touch your toes. Go. Knees locked out. Back up. Cool. 0 to 10 on that. I heard some things.
Yeah, like a 6 or 7.
6 or 7. All right, cool. All right, that was like warm up. All right. Let's not have him, with the excuse I was warmed up. So I want you to go one more time. Knees locked out.
Got my stretching shoes on. This is good.
Okay, good. All right, back up. So everyone got a glimpse of that. You can not exactly touch the floor. All right, you ready for a magic trick?
Yeah.
Magic pencil. All right, here we go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stare at the top leg. Got it?
Got it.
All right. All I'm gonna do is bring it in towards the bridge of your nose. All right. Keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it. Don't let it split. If it splits, let me know. Okay. That is 1. We're doing like 3 more. Just breathe. Don't worry about everyone in this room. 2 more. 2 more. Good. And last one. Okay, good. You all right?
Good.
All right, I want you to shake that out a little bit. All right, feet back together. Lock out your knees. Go ahead and go. Woo. Okay.
Hey-o.
Okay, nice. 0 to 10 scale.
Yeah, didn't feel bad. Not as achy on that one. So.
Okay, 0 to 10.
5.
Like a 5. Awesome. Let me try one more thing. Okay. You're gonna stay right here. Rotate your head to the left while staring at the letter.
Oh.
Damn. There you go. 1. Go right back center. And go again. 2. Right back center. 3. Let's get 1 more. And back center. Awesome. Go ahead. Try to touch. Excellent. That was pretty good. Quite simply, I gave his brain better input for better output. I'll explain that in a few minutes. Hit me with the next slide. All right, I want to introduce myself. My name is Abe Al-Baba. As he said, I'm a neuro sports performance specialist and nutrition coach. But quite simply, I'm the dude. All right, I'm not talking Big Lebowski, but for some reason, San Diego Magazine named me top trainer or whatever. But really, I'm just like, I've been in the back doing like weird vision drills, having people stick their tongue in their cheek and touching my finger. So, I don't know, but look, hey, it works. That's all I gotta say, and someone noticed. And one really cool example is I had this pro rugby player, and this guy was at a USA camp, just got his tail whooped, all crazy workouts, and he's just hurting all over the place. So he starts seeing me, and we're doing like 30 minutes of like these crazy drills. I got him on one leg, like staring at his tongue, you know, tongue to the cheek, all these things. He's getting better, but not where I want him to be. So I start thinking about his health history and what I know about him. And I said, I'm gonna grab some green colored lenses. There's a reason for that, but nothing special about them. They're just green colored lenses. I throw them on him, he takes a lap on the turf, and comes back, takes the glasses off, and 0 out of 10 pain. Everything's gone, all the achiness, everything gone. Now, there's a lot of science behind that, but we'll just keep it simple. And it's not just elite athletes that I work with, but also my office athletes. And this one in particular, this guy is a very special case. He's like the real life Humpty Dumpty. Like, this guy has been in like 4 crazy car accidents. One of them, he was for some reason cruising in Kenya, and he's laying up in the back of the seat, and the car rolls like 5 football fields long. And this guy also managed to be thrown out of an amusement park ride. So at this point, I'm sure he's been struck by lightning. So anyway, so he's in the session, like the guy is not mobile at all. Like he cannot move his neck or anything. He can't even get underneath the bar for a squat. So I start doing some drills. We start doing some good quality training. And within a month or so, this guy was doing squats underneath the bar, and it had been 20 plus years since he's even got down in a squat, like all the way parallel. So, and amazingly enough, he also lost 10 pounds of fat and gained 10 pounds of muscle. So, most importantly, I know it sounds impossible, but only 1 to 2 pounds of muscle is per month, whatever. But 10 pounds, I mean, I'm pretty confident in my skin fold measurements, and I ran the calculations, and 10 pounds of muscle. So where I'm getting at is, next slide, is the brain can unlock your full potential. And it all comes down to input versus output. Now, anytime I say output, what I want you to say, and I'm going to point at you, and what I want you to say is what we care about. So, output is
what we care about.
Output is
what we care about.
Excellent. Okay. So, on to some neurology 101. Okay, here's your brain. All right. What it's doing all day, every day, it receives input, it interprets it, makes a decision, and then signals an output. And output is
what we care about.
That's right. So, all day, every day, it's doing that, and its number one goal is to survive. So the input that we get significantly affects that output. So we got my 3 input systems up here, and we've got our proprioceptive system. This is way oversimplified, but understand that it's just your movement, okay? How well you move those joints. And we're getting 11 to 20 million signals every second from that system. Our visual system, 150 million neural signals every second. And my personal favorite, the vestibular system, 1 million signals per second. I want you to think about this system like you just hang in a painting. And you get your leveler because you want it perfectly centered. And that leveler is pushing fluid one way or the other, and you're balancing it out, trying to get centered. That's exactly what the vestibular system does. It sits behind your eyes, inside your inner ear. So these input systems dramatically affect your output. So quite simply, for peak performance, we must move well, see well, and balance well. So affecting one input can vastly affect our overall output. And output is
what we care about.
Yes, come on. So output with my athletes, I train all kinds of people. One of my pro fighters, for him, a output is kicking a guy in the face and he's hoping to knock him out. That's the output he's trying to improve. But for my office athletes, it's having an A+ day at work. It's being on it, killing your sales goals, not being lethargic. All these input systems affect that output, which is what we care about. Go to my next one. So what stresses you guys out? I'm going to just point. What stresses you out? A lot of things.
Planning a wedding.
Planning a wedding.
Yeah. It's a little bit
I think I just
stressful.
got stressed listening to that. All right, give me one more. Traffic. God, I hate traffic. So all these things are great examples, but if you realize they all are based on emotion, and stress is not just emotional. These input systems that we just discussed will impact our stress and threat. So what we constantly want to do is reduce our stress and threat. We're seeing, we're moving, we're balancing all day, every day. So I want to introduce my stress/threat bucket, okay? So we're gonna put all the stressors we talked about in that bucket. Now on top of that, you have to see, you have to move, you have to balance. Do you think those are gonna affect this bucket? Nod your heads. Yes. 150 million neural signals from your eyes, people. That can significantly cause this bucket to rise. When that rises, we start to see symptoms like unexplainable pain, headaches, nausea, dizziness. And if you don't pay attention to that bucket and you keep letting it fill, we have more insidious ailments like IBS, fibromyalgia, even the contributions to cancers and disease. So what do? I take the 3 systems, 1 athlete approach, which is why my company is called 3-in-1 Elite. So for every elite athlete, that's you, even my office athletes, we look at these 3 input systems. And based on what your input systems represent to me, I can unlock your full potential. Whether that's speed, explosiveness, strength, conditioning, whether it's having those A+ days at work, where you're just on it, crushing your sales goals. All of these factors can have an effect on all these outputs. So what I do is, based on the information you represent, I look at your health history. I see if, hey, have you had a car accident? Have you had a concussion? Have you had a lifetime of poor nutrition? Do you think those are going to affect these input systems? Absolutely. So I provide my methods or my funky drills to improve the input so we unlock your full potential. So hopefully by now you can begin to understand this stress and threat bucket and how you can maybe improve one input which can vastly affect our output. And output is
What we care about.
Exactly. Go to my next one. Thank you guys for your time. My name's Abe.
Yeah.
If you don't